So Jesse Jackson's funeral was yesterday in Chicago, and despite the wishes of his family, it got very political very quickly. Let's talk about it. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Reverend Jesse Jackson's funeral being held in Chicago yesterday, which was Friday, March 6, 2026. Now, before I go into it, may he rest in peace. He was a great man to many. I did not agree with his politics at all, but I appreciate his effort to help Black Americans. I really do. So RIP Jesse Jackson, prayers out to the family, and shout out to everybody who was in attendance. Now, speaking about those who were in attendance, we got quite a star-studded lineup here, okay? You can see Kamala Harris, Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, Jill Biden, Joe Biden, and many, many more. I think Al Sharpton was there. There were quite a few people at this event. It kind of reminded me of Jimmy Carter's funeral, or maybe even Trump's inauguration. There was a lot going on politically. Now, speaking about that, Jesse Jackson's family was not necessarily a fan of how political this was. Here is his son, Jesse Jr., saying, hey, leave your politics at home. And of course, I will link to all these clips in the description box if you want to see him and hear him without my commentary. If you're on IG, Facebook, etc., visit the link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
Do not bring your politics out of respect to Reverend Jesse Jackson and the life that he lived to these homegoing services. Come respectful and come to say thank you. But these homegoing services are welcome to all. Democrat, Republican, liberal, and conservative, right wing, left wing, because his life is broad enough to cover the full spectrum of what it means to be an American. We only ask people to come and be respectful in the context of the extraordinary life that he lived.
Right on. Now, speaking about that, there was one person who was not there, one person who I did not mention, and that is President Donald J. Trump. Now, we all know Trump and Jesse were good friends back in the day. Trump helped him quite a bit back in the day. I don't know why he wasn't there. I don't know if he wasn't invited or if he wasn't invited or if he didn't want to show up because it'd be a spectacle. I don't really know, but Trump was not there, although he has spoken highly of Jesse all throughout his life and after his life. Now, let's keep on going. Let's get to Joe Biden and what he said at the event. Some may be offended by this, but I'm not super offended. Let's check it out.
If I told you all earlier when I was a kid I had a cleft palate or a club foot, none of you would have laughed. But it's okay to laugh at stuttering. I'm not being critical of you, but think about it. It's the one place where people think you're stupid. Oh, really? I'm a hell of a lot smarter than most of you. But all kidding aside, if I told you all...
Okay, now some are offended by that because this is a crowd. A lot of Black folks are in the crowd. It was not an all Black crowd, but of course, Jesse Jackson, there's a lot of Black folks there. Some said he was talking about the crowd because they were Black. I don't know. I don't think so. And I'm not even a Joe Biden fan at all, but Joe Biden always does this. He's always like, I'm a big, tough guy. I beat you in the push-up contest. I got a big IQ. He always says that. So that's probably not any different right here. And he got a little bit offended because speaking about his stuttering and people laughed and then he wanted to say something. No, this guy's about 1,000 years old. And all I'm going to say is this. I'm glad he's not the president right now. Can you imagine this guy as a president? It'd be a complete mess. A complete mess. Now, speaking about it'd be a complete mess if they were the president, Kamala Harris was there and she gave some words out to the audience. Let's watch this.
Let me just say, I predicted a lot about what's happening right now. I'm not into saying I told you so, but we did see it coming. But what I did not predict is that we would not have Jesse Jackson with us right now to help us get through this. And this afternoon has been such a beautiful remembrance of his spirit, his life, and his faith. And in a way that Reverend Al talked about it and so many others have, I do think of this afternoon as what it is doing for me to renew my faith in what is possible, fueled by the hope that Jesse Jackson so often reminded us of.
Now, you heard what she said, that she called a lot of this happening. She predicted it. Again, would you want her to be the president right now? Joe Biden would have been bad, but I think she would have been worse. I know it's kind of hard to like get worse than Joe Biden, but she would have been worse. So thank God she's not the president right now. Okay, and we got another from Kamala here. She dropped a unburdened by what has been. That's her favorite little line right there. Check it out.
Understand, as has been said, the beauty that comes after the storm when we see what is possible and what can be unburdened by what has been. As he once said, when a barrier falls for one of the locked out, it opens the doors for all. And that is what he told me, and what he taught me, and how he inspired me. Understand.
All right, there we go. Unburdened by what has been. We are unburdened by what has been of your presidential campaign. That's why we get the orange man back in town. Followed up by Marco Rubio, maybe, hopefully, prayerfully. Anyway, now we got Barry O. Mr. Barack Obama, of course, he's there because he went to Chicago as an adult. He's not from Chicago. I mean, if you grow up in Indonesia and Hawaii and you come to Chicago as a full-grown adult, you're not from there. But he lived there for quite a long time, I believe 20 years. He was in government there. What was he, a senator? So Chicago's like his home, and he's building that library there. It looks really crazy. But here he is giving his remarks at Jesse Jackson's funeral. Check it out.
Today we're told by those in high office to fear each other and to turn on each other, and that some Americans count more than others, and that some don't even count at all.
Now, when you say some Americans don't count at all and some count more than others, who are you referring to? The illegal aliens? Is that what we're doing right now? Are we using this funeral of Jesse Jackson to promote your pro-illegal alien agenda? I hope not, but I digress.
Everywhere we see greed and bigotry being celebrated, and bullying and mockery masquerading as strength, we see science and expertise denigrated, while ignorance and dishonesty and cruelty and corruption are reaping untold rewards. Every single day we see that, and it's hard to hope in those moments. So it may be tempting to get discouraged, to give in to cynicism. It may be tempting for some to compromise with power and grab what you can, or even for good people to maybe just put your head down and wait for the storm to pass. But this man, Reverend Jesse Louis Jackson, inspires us to take a harder path. His voice calls on each of us to be heralds of change, to be messengers of hope, to step forward and say, send me. Wherever we have a chance to make an impact, whether it's in our school, or our workplaces, or our neighborhoods, or our cities.
All right, there we go. So that's Barack Obama. You know what? I was trying so hard to not interrupt during that particular talk right there. I was trying so hard because I knew you guys, stop talking, ABL, let the clip play. I was trying so hard. Bullies? We're the bullies? Hold on. Let me just, there's more. I'm going to link to everything else in the box. I'm going to link to the whole, all the speeches in the box. But as I close, I want to say this. We're the bullies, Mr. Barack Obama. Us? It's us as the bullies? Really? Are you serious? So look, when we say we don't want men to use women's restrooms because we want to protect the women, that's us bullying them. What about the women who now have to have this big 6'4" plumber looking character in the bathroom with them, invading their space, putting them in danger? They're not being bullied. They're not being put in danger. They're not being harassed. They're illegal aliens coming to a lot of black neighborhoods, Mr. Barack Obama. In Chicago, where you're at right now, they go to the black neighborhoods to terrorize them. robbed them, victimized them, and they stole from the taxpayer. But we're the bullies. See, this right here is classic projection. But you know what? He shouldn't have been saying any of this stuff at the funeral, because guess what? Jesse Jackson's son, Jesse Jr., said, hey, let's leave all that at the door. Come with respect and just pay your respects to my father rather than talking about the political stuff. Now, I'm not quite sure that he's going to come out and say something about Barack Obama and Kamala doing something wrong. But if everyone just heeded his wishes, then he wouldn't have said what he said on stage. But of course, you got political people in the building. You got Obama, Bill Clinton, Hillary. They're going to get political, and they got very political, unfortunately. But I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your opinion about these funeral speeches? Did you like them? Did you not like them? Did you watch the entire funeral? Have you just seen clips here or other parts of the interwebs? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. I mean, this is pretty much par for the course for a funeral like this. I would have liked if they were not political, but like I said, they're going to do it. Barack Obama's there. He has an opportunity to speak in front of the whole world. He's going to say certain things. He might have been given talking points by people to promote certain things at this funeral. It's shameful, but they are shameless. They don't really care about how they do something. As long as it gets done, that's all that matters. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.